for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The entire, the whole life cycle of the customer
Yeah.
experience, right?
Yeah.
It's not, we say end to end, but it's obviously a circle or a infinity sign, right?
Yeah.
So those are great. Yeah. So those kind of those tenets, three or four tenets that you just rattle off. There's worlds in each one of them, right?
Yeah,
There's
I
a
know. There's so many.
lot to
Yeah.
get to think about the how in today's landscape. So let's walk through those a little bit. So
Sure.
that I think you're absolutely right. It all starts with alignment to of goals, alignment to the way our language, alignment all the way to the top. So I really like the distinction that you made between, look, we, we kind of get funding on total addressable market. we make we make revenue plans probably on relevant market, who's in
Yep.
market.
Yep.
So talk to us a little bit about that difference between kind of setting your ICP and saying like, look how many there are, and then figuring out how to predictively figure out when they're market versus a framework that's focused on relevant market and how you get there.
Yeah. So, um, to get that ICP, I mean, that is a an exercise for sure, right? So what you're trying to do is really understand your current audience, or forgive me, not audience, but current customer lists, and understanding what is pushing them in order to purchase your product, right? I mean, it's about taking like full ownership on who's buying what, when, and how, right? And so investing in those tools that can really give you a sense of, all right, here are our current customers, here are some other potential accounts that fit into that profile, and then really kind of figure out what that deal story is, like what is driving the engagement to sale here. And sometimes you're going to have to embrace some of that dark social data,
Mm-hmm.
manually collecting it on LinkedIn and things to really get a sense of who is responding to what and where. And getting to that ICP, it just needs alignment. It's like it's so important because sales has one definition of what their ideal customer is because they're going to sell to the easiest thing on that's available to them, where marketing is, has a lot more constraints around it. Customer success is working with whoever actually bought. So you actually have these three different versions of reality, which is killing efficiency and also killing that kind of momentum. So needing to have all three aligned, all three areas or responsibilities aligned on who that ICP is, that's what's really going to matter. And that involves, like I said, the deal story, understanding, some of the actual conversations that are happening from the sales point of view, understanding what the current messaging is. And so all of that really just needs to work together.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and where have you seen it? And to your point, everyone has a little bit, maybe a largely different take, but at least a little bit different take on, or different motivations of how they're going to define any of this, but certainly ICP. Like you
Yeah.
say, we got some sales plays running, they're running great. What, just give me, three times as many of these. We'll kill the
Right.
number, right? Um, Product comes, we've got this new this new feature or something, like we have to get 25 of these out in the world.
Yeah.
This is our a big part of the ecosystem play that we're making. There's a lot of different things that kind of lean on that ICP. Is this
Yeah.
something that where have you seen it work best? Because a lot of times I think you're right. I think that alignment obviously needs to run all the way up to the CEO, even the board being on
Yeah.
board with all this stuff. But
Yeah.
they often don't have their fingers in enough of it to really tell
Yeah.
which is which and how to balance it.
Yeah.
Have you seen good dynamics, or have you seen good processes to get to that alignment?
It's all about the data and what's performing. I mean, there's this pretty well known, and if it's not well known, that's okay too, about HubSpot, where they were, early on, early on, like early 2000s, when they first launched, they were really focused on those small to mid-sized businesses, giving them all the tools for them to be set up efficiently for SEO and blogging and social media, et cetera. But what they really realized, also because they were building out this CRM, what was happening there. And so you kind of see, right, you've got this small business, high churn subscription model for go to market that, it requires a lot of volume versus marketing to marketers who the CRM, it's a longer term commitment, longer term value, higher value as well. And they really needed to make a decision, right? It was easy to do the marketer, the small business, and harder to do in the marketers. But it's essentially just the math. You do the segmentation, how long did it take to come to value? How long, what's the churn rate? What is the velocity for it to close? And this is where, like I said, customer success is important in these conversations, right?